Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Nidra. I know I'm super duper late. I'll explain it properly in the end of this video. It shouldn't be real long. It's the review for Bridges of Atlanta, Season 1, Episode 7, and actually the finale. I'm just going to do a mashup. I just watched it. Um, I got so much going on. Happy Easter to everyone. I hope your weekend is going great. I hope the weather is beautiful. Um, and we're gonna just hop into it. It wasn't a whole lot to me. Last week actually could have been the finale, but basically, I'm gonna recap a little bit of last week, move right on into the finale, um, and then I'll be ready to do the Mary Mary from last week as well as the one of this previous Thursday night. But anyway, last week episode was basically all about the backlash dealing with Leandria doing a periscope where she was either intoxicated or drinking. And so it basically showed where Canton and Kim basically were the ones that wanted to call her out on it, um, about the drinking and how disheartening it was to them. Now, in the episode, we see where Corey's wife and the other ladies threw a baby shower for Canton's wife. Um, in the episode, it was a beautiful shower. Everybody came, but you could see it was tension between Leandria and Kim, where Leandria actually told Kim to shut up. And I do think it was rude, regardless of what her feelings were towards Kim. It was at someone else's house. It wasn't the place for it. Um, and I'm just gonna say this: anytime a person lashes out, regardless of what the situation is, when they can go anywhere, lash out, and get mad over certain things, mostly it's because they know either they were wrong or they're ashamed about it. We saw where Kim and Canton spoke about Leandria because Judah, Canton, and Kim met up where he said he wanted to throw a block party. He said that preachers need to come from behind the pulpit and do something for the community. They all agreed to do it. So that's where Canton and Kim spoke about, reaching out to Leandria, seeing what's going on, and A, B, C, D, E, F, and G with that. Basically, Leandra talked to her husband about how she felt. He basically was like, "You don't have to do the block party. I love you. I'm here for you. I'm down for you." Had I went to the little gathering because they were at a restaurant where they met up, Canton, Kim, and Judah. And Canton basically was saying he smelled alcohol, he smelled liquor. Leandria broke down. She was trying to explain she's not a conventional pastor. People are judging her. People are throwing her under the bus. She thought these guys were her real friend, and they're turning out not to be. And Kim was right along with Canton, saying things in the confessional, but when she got in front of Leandria, she was trying to act like she didn't say as much as Canton, which further brought me to when Leandria met up with Kim and they were having lunch. And she, even though I don't care for anyone on the show, I was glad Leandria told Kim, "You fake too. You were saying stuff too, whether you sitting in front of me or behind my back. You was with Canton too," because Kim was basically throwing Canton under the bus, trying to make it seem like, oh, he was picking and prodding. He was wrong for the way he came better. It was a better approach he could have done. Hog wash. That's why I say they all are fake. They all lie. The show is so full of deceit, hypocrisy, lies, false doctrine, and whatever else they're trying to push out here, and I'm not buying it. And basically, Deandra walked out on Kim as well as when she went to the studio. She was supposed to do a song with Canton. She got there, told him she didn't like the way he spoke to her at the restaurant. He said sorry. He wasn't going to beg her to do the block party if she didn't want to do it, but he wanted to do the track. She asked, could she have a minute? And she walked out on him. And I agree with him. I wouldn't beg nobody to do nothing either. But one thing about Canton, if he said it behind her back, he said it to her face. Opposed to Kim, who was saying stuff with Canton, and then all of a sudden she got scared once Leandra bucked back and all this type of stuff. We seen where Corey's daughter Mariah came to talk to him and his wife, Corinne, about moving in with a boyfriend. She don't care what people say. They talked about having a baby. They both cheated on each other, and he just told her, is consequences, and for whatever you do. She's talking about moving to Brunswick. She's young. She's tired. She wants to make her own mistakes, live her life. Her mom's like, I was a teenage mom. I want you to be better than me. The girl is pretty much like, I'm grown. I'm going to do what I want to do. We talked about it. And, it is what it is. I wish all the best for her. We all been teenagers. We all made mistakes. We saw where pretty much that episode just centered around them, the block party, Leandria drinking on Periscope, the backlash from it. She feels some type of way. Um, she don't want to do the block party. Same thing. Like I said, they could have put the finale with that. I didn't see a whole lot in the finale. Canton wife had the baby. It's a beautiful baby. Congratulations to them. We see where Leandria says she's not going to the block party. Um, Basically, we see what Corey took. I think his name Antavius or Anton or whatever his name is. The guy that Canton is mentoring on a run with him as he pulled the guy over. The guy, I guess, just bought a truck. He thought the guy was drunk. The guy wasn't drunk. He just bought the truck, but he did have insurance, and he was trying to tell him that all cops were not bad. I will say all cops are not bad, but a good percentage of them are. Like my husband said years ago when I was dating him, the cop is the biggest gang in the world. Uh, we also saw where they were getting together for the block party and things of that nature. We saw where Leandria was pastoring, and she asked someone by the name of Bishop Bloom to come in. I guess he's a bishop and a strategist or something. I read on his title. After the service, he spoke with her and revealed to her that he used to be a addict to heroin, and before he would even minister and do some sermons, he would shoot up in his big toe. She broke down when he asked her why did she do the Periscope, and she was talking about she want people to know that they don't need to put her on a pedestal. She gonna fall. She human like everybody else. And he asked her, well, what if I would have asked you to expose your breasts? Would you have done it? And then she began to say she's seen things differently, but the way he came to her in regards to her Periscope was out of love, opposed to how everybody else came to her. They came, with judgment, and they look at her different and they're fake and she's so real. But she's understanding maybe her trying to be real and reach people maybe been too much. She asked him to keep check on her or whatever. Um, we saw with Corey even reached out to Leandria because even though they didn't show a lot of it, Corey really did not say a lot about Leandria. He said that they should lift their sister up. They should rally around her. She's their sister, love on her, things of that nature. And of course, you know, um, they were like, well, Canton did this and Canton did that. No, it was Canton and Kim. Judah was more on the sideline when they were having discussions. So, he was trying to put in, well, I'm not traditional and I'm not this, and people judge me based off my dad and this. No, no one is judging you that I see. What I see is if they should have anything to say, it should be that for the past, 8, 9 weeks, he's been on here moaning and groaning about not being able to pimp the people out of their tithes and offerings to supply his lifestyle because in the last episode, I forgot, he was talking about that he thinks the Bible could have mistakes in it. It was written by man. He don't believe God would send wrath to wipe people out. I will have him go back to read the Old Testament. I, you don't believe that? I'm going to say it once again. God loves us. No doubt. God loves us all. You still can get sent to hell. I don't know how. You ain't got to teach about your scriptures. You ain't got to do no quotes. Pray and ask God to show you, reveal things to you, speak to you. We can go to hell. Simple as that. We can say we love all day. God is love. Yes, He is. All day long. Never changes. You still can go to hell in the end. So for him saying that he don't believe God will wipe out towns and won't do this, what? So Canton. Last we challenged him like, where are you getting your ideas? What is it based on? He sounds like a fool. So this week, with him, in his whole 9 weeks. I'm glad. I hope the show doesn't come back. The only thing I can say about him is he needs help. He needs a real support team. He needs real prayer because all he's talking about is a church and how much money they had, and people said things because his dad was gay and this. And I said in one of my other reviews of the show, could it be that one of the people might have felt duped? The people, just like he said, no one is giving him a chance. No one gave those people a chance either. You can They came out with a lie. They stuck to the lie. I'm not speaking on the dad preference. I'm not speaking on what happened after. I'm speaking on if you come to the table and tell me you're serving me steak and I sit at the table all day, I don't eat all day because you tell me you cooking dinner, we're gonna have steak, and then when I get to the dinner, we end up having bologna sandwiches. But you tell me, well, you still got to pay for the sandwich even though you thought it was steak and it was bologna and I tricked you. You shouldn't have no problem with me continuing on being your cook. That's how it sounds. That's what I equate it to, basically. Um, we saw where Corey talked to his wife, pretty much saying that their daughter is grown. She's going to make mistakes. Let her live her life. If they try to tell her what to do, they try to speak to her, hold her back, she's going to rebel and buck. And for the first time, Corey spoke some real truth to his wife. And he said, you shouldn't want her to be successful to show people that she's just not enough statistic because you had her young, but more or less that she can maintain and have a career and provide for her own family one day. So I was all the way here for him with that. I have been here for him, with the whole show because he's sneaky too. When they asked him last week, which one do he choose, the Bible or being an officer? He said both. Ain't gonna work. You can't choose one or the other. Am I saying you can't be a pastor and a preacher? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying when he was asked, which one does he let lead him? Being a police officer or being a pastor? Or using the Bible, should I say. That's the context they put it in. How can you, nothing comes